crazy chords in jazz. I've had to help a lot of students over the years play some very complicated charts for jazz bands, because a lot of times when people arrange stuff for a guitar player, for a jazz tune, they like to give the guitar player every extension, every possibility of every chord that you can put on the chord. And so a big part of helping a student learn how to play that song is to simplify, and sometimes oversimplify, sometimes not. The song I just did for you was a very slow version of the Autumn Leaves. I hope that you could kind of see how I did it. I tried to show you that most of the chords, even with the melody put as part of them, I was able to do using this finger. I used my first finger for almost every chord, or the basic form of the chord in the song. So I just want to go over with you right now the minor 7th chord and the minor chord and how to find them on the guitar. Any one you could ever possibly need. You only need to know two things. You need to know how the music alphabet works, and you need to know how that music alphabet lays down on the fretboard of the guitar. But much simpler than that, you only need to know how that alphabet works on one string. So with one finger and using one string, I'm going to show you how to play every minor and minor 7 chord on the guitar. I'm saying minor and minor 7 because minor involves 3 notes, 3 strings. Minor 7 involves 4 notes, 4 strings. Again, everything's happening with this one finger on the guitar. You're going to have to strum with this hand or your thumb. And you need to know the music alphabet and the notes on at least one string on your instrument. So the string that we're going to learn is the very thin string, the E string. The alphabet in music starts on A and goes to B, to C, to D, to E, to F, to G, and then back around again. A, B, C, D, E, F, G. It doesn't matter where you start. If you start on C, it goes C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, etc., etc., etc. It's the same 7 circle of notes moving higher in pitch up the piano, if you will. The guitar is literally exactly the same as a piano, except we have 6 different pianos on a guitar, whereas on the piano, you have one nice laid out keyboard. We got 6 of them here, and they don't all start from the same note. So it makes it very complicated how to find different things on the guitar. Whereas on the piano, every note that you ever see written on music really only has one place on the piano. On the guitar, there's multiple places to play the same written musical note or the same pitch. So it makes it kind of hard to learn it, especially when the guitar player is very often supposed to play chords and not just a single note. So the alphabet's A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, etc. In that alphabet, there's a series of steps called whole steps and half steps. A whole step on the guitar is equal to 2 frets. A whole step on the piano is equal to 2 keys, whether they be white or black, but they have to be next to each other. On the guitar, a whole step's 2 frets. If I put my finger here and say move up 1 whole step, I have to move up 2 frets, 1, 2. If I say move down 1 whole step, I have to move down 2 frets, 1, 2. So in sound, from here to here is a whole step. To here is a whole step. If I go back 1 fret, it's called a half step. If I go up 1 fret, it's called a half step. So here's one thing that you have to remember about the music alphabet. Between the notes B and C and E and F is 1 half step or 1 fret or 1 key on the piano. B and C, E and F. Make up some sentence to remember B and C, E and F, or some word phrase or something, or just remember B, C, E, F are always next to each other. Everything else has a fret in between it. So here we go. The name of this string is E. When you play an open string on the guitar, it actually, the easiest way to visualize it is this right here, this nut is holding down that fret. There's an invisible fret right here. So this is an E note. How far it was from E to F? E to F is only a half step. So E, move up one fret to F. To G is what's called a whole step. So if you're on F, you have to go up 2 frets to G. If you're on G and you're looking for A, you have to go up 2 frets to A. B is another 2 frets. C is only 1. D is a whole step. And notice you're going to be back at your double dots on an E, which is the octave of where you started all the way down there. After E comes F. After F, you do 2 to G, 2 to A, 2 to B, and 1 to C, and I run out of guitar. Let's do it again. E is open. F is a half step. G is a whole step. A is a whole step. B is a whole step. C is a half step. D is a whole step. E is a whole step. F is a half step. G is a whole step. A is a whole step. B is a whole step. And C is another whole step. There's notes in between these places where you have a whole step. Before we go over the names real quick, any note can be raised a half step or lowered a half step, or raised 2 half steps or lowered 2 half steps. Those ideas of raising a note a half step is called sharpening the note, and moving the note lower a half step is called flatting the note. So if I am on, let's see, E, F, G, A. If I'm on A and I say play me A sharp, you sharp it, you go up 1 fret. If I say play me A flat, you move it back 1 fret. If I say flat that note, you go back to here. If I say flat that note, you go back to here. If I say sharp this note, you go to here. Sharp this note, you go to here. Sharp this note twice, you go to here. You kind of get it? So sharps and flats move you 1 fret usually, or double sharps and double flats move you 2 frets. You don't need to know that part, but this you do need to know. From E to F is a half step. So from F to G is a whole step. Well, there's a note in between the F and the G. There's a fret in between, I should say. That fret can be called F sharp or G flat. From the G note, you move up a whole step to A. You can flat it, A flat or G sharp. From A, you can move up a whole step to B, and you can flat that, B flat or A sharp. So as you can see, now B to C is only a half step. But if I say C flat, you still have to play that note, even though it's called B. If I say B sharp, you have to play that note, which you could also call C. So that gets to the last point of this really confusing bunch of theory. Any note has at least 2 different names. It could be called C sharp or D flat, D sharp or E flat, E sharp or E, E sharp, F, F sharp, G. I hope you get it. Now all you do to play the minor chord is this. You take this finger, cover 3 strings, 1, 2, 3. The name of it's on the first string. This is an A minor chord. This is a B minor chord. This is a C minor chord. Fret 10 is a D minor chord. Fret 12 is an E minor chord. Fret 13 is F minor. 14 is F sharp minor, etc. Starting down the bottom, when you play open 3 strings, that's E minor. The guitar is holding that finger down for you. F minor is on fret, half step. F sharp minor, G minor, G flat minor. So up the alphabet in order: E minor, F minor, G minor, A minor, B minor, C minor, D minor, E minor. If you remember me telling you the minor chord has 3 notes, 3 strings. The minor 7 chord has 4 notes, 4 strings. Here's how you do a minor 7. You just grab one more string. So G minor 7 is string 4, 3, 2, and 1 with 1 finger. That's a G minor 7. A minor 7. B minor 7. C minor 7. D minor 7. E minor 7. F minor 7. F sharp minor 7. They're real chords. They work for everything. Stay tuned for my next video, how to substitute minor 7s for things that sound harder. Thank you for watching. Have some fun with this. You can make up songs with these easy.